The UFC's welterweight division is one of the most stacked and exciting divisions in today's MMA scene, and I'm going to be doing my own top 15 rankings. I know this might, cause some rage bait because, this happened the other day. Someone was talking some shit, and they was having a bit of a rage on the comments, but that's not really what I'm here to do. If you get rage baited, that's a you problem, because I'm just giving my opinions and my takes. You might not agree with it. You don't have to agree with it, but these are just my opinions. But as you guys know, the welterweight division is one of the most exciting divisions currently in the UFC. There's a lot of up and coming young prospects, and it's crazy because we still have some of the old gen still floating around in the welterweight division. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Let's let me get my rankings on. Obviously, we've got Michael Venom Page at number 15. I'm saying that we're going to be ranking them, but we're not actually ranking them. We're actually putting them in a tier list, which is essentially still ranking them. Obviously, we got the S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, and D tier. Obviously, what we are going to be basing it on is their fighting style, who they have beat, their chances of becoming champion, and to be honest, they're just their overall fighting style. So essentially, it's kind of like a pound for pound welterweight tier list, if you want to call it. So let's get into the video, starting off with Michael Venom Page. I'm gonna be honest, guys. This one might cause some rage bait because I personally don't think Michael Venom Page is the greatest fighter. He has mastered points fighting, but essentially, if you put him in there with some of the top guys, I do think he loses to them. Decent striker. He does have quite a big fan base, and people wanted to see him in the UFC years before he got to the UFC. So, shouts out to him. But I just don't think he's that much of a great fighter. He's got his style and it works for him, but it works for him against certain fighters. So, I'm going to have to put Michael Venom Page at a D. I don't think he is an elite's level. He possibly could get into the top 10 of the welterweight rankings, but I don't see him breaking into that top 5 or even getting close to a title shot. And he's at the later stages of his career. I believe he's about 38 years old now. So, but I rate what he's done in the sport, and I rate that the fact that he was still able to get to the UFC at a later stage of his career. And to be honest, he does have it's an annoying fighting style because essentially he's mastered point fighting, but I just don't think his skill set, don't get me wrong, he has a very good striking skill set, but as an overall mixed martial artist, I don't think he can hang with the best of the best. That's just my opinion, so I'm going to put him at D. Next up, we have Gabriel Bonfim, but I'm going to be honest, guys, I'm not even including him in this rankings. I only put him here so you guys could see the dickhead's picture, because he did not win last Saturday at UFC. I think it was Nashville. I watched that fight because it was on my birthday, so I was up late, with the man them, drinking, maybe some other stuff. But we don't do no cocaine, none of that. Yeah, it's class B, you know what I mean, or drink anything else, none of that. Yeah, we don't condone that. Even though I'm a big Conor McGregor fanboy, we don't do no Charlie over here. Yeah, we don't indulge. Listen, I know Conor McGregor is best friends with Charlie Gears, but I don't want to know Charlie Gears, all right, mate? So, yeah, I watched that fight, and I believe Stephen Thompson won. And even my friends that were there that I'm not into MMA like that or combat sports like that, they watched the fight and they said they think Stephen Thompson won. And that's coming from people that don't even understand mixed martial arts like that. So for that reason, I'm not even going to put Bonfim on this tier list. That guy can go suck himself, and them judges can go suck themselves because Stephen Thompson won that fight. So I'm going to include Stephen Thompson on this tier list. And, you know, he is a good striker, but he has a very karate sort of striking style. And in his day, he was good. But if we're talking currently, I don't think he's at the level of a B or A fighter. So again, I'm going to put him at a C. And he doesn't really have the wrestling. So his overall game is lacking a bit. Very good striker. But even his striking, I think, is quite limited because of the style of striking he has. Again, I think he is a very good point fighter. I would like to see him versus Michael Venom Page, to be fair, because they're both very good point fighters. So I would like to see that. So yeah, Stephen Thompson, I'm going to put him at a C. If it was obviously earlier in his career, I probably would have had him maybe at a B. But again, he's mastered point fighting. But I think his style is a bit different to Michael Venom Page's when it comes to point fighting. Movement is a bit similar. But I do think Stephen Thompson engages a bit more and, you know, crosses the void a little bit more. So I'm going to put him at a C. Bonfim, fuck you, because you didn't win that fight. And you got rocked by Thompson. Boy, that head kick he landed was crazy. Next up, we got Kevin Holland. Again, Kevin Holland, you're not the greatest fighter in the world. Your overall mixed martial arts game is decent. You see, with Kevin Holland, man, it's a weird one, man, because he does have a lot of losses. And it's like, I could see him climbing the rankings, but then losing to someone like Ian Gary. And I don't think Kevin Holland on paper should lose to Ian Gary, but that's just Kevin Holland for you. And I don't necessarily think Kevin Holland is a B fighter. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think he's more of a C. His mixed martial arts as a whole is probably better than Stephen Thompson and Michael Venom Page because as a whole, he can kind of do everything. But I don't think he's at that elite level. I think he's probably one of those guys that would be like a gatekeeper in the division. You know, they're ranked maybe between 8 and 10, or maybe between 5 and 10, and you know they just keep their spot for years. And you know, like a what's his name, Jeff Neal? Is it Jeff Neal or Neil Magny? You know, they're always floating around in that like 8 to 13 sort of position, but they're always gatekeeping. Like to climb the rankings, you have to get past them. And I see Kevin Holland as potentially one of those guys. So for that reason, I'm putting him at a C. I just don't think he's at an elite level like that. Next up, we got Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns has good jiu-jitsu, has a very good ground game. He brought out, in my opinion, he brought out the best fight I've seen from Hamzat. No one has pushed Hamzat like that. His fight with Kamaru Usman was decent, but Gilbert Burns pushed Hamzat more than Kamaru did. Gilbert Burns, though, at this point in his career, he is not, I don't believe he can compete with the elites of the division. I do believe he's on a decline. He's on a, 3-fight losing streak now. Just lost to Michael Morales. Striking wise, I just don't think he has the greatest striking. Although he went toe to toe with Hamzat doesn't have the best striking in the world either. So, you know, and I think at this moment in time, I'm going to have to put Gilbert Burns at a C because again, he's like, I do feel like he could potentially be one of those guys that's another gatekeeper, but the way he has been losing his last few fights, I don't know how long Gilbert Burns has left in the game because he's getting finished. So it's like, if you're getting finished the way he's getting finished, you can't keep going out like that. So, you know, I think he's at the end of the road is very near. And like I said, he has a good ground game, but his striking, in my opinion, is lacking. So that's why I have to put him at a C, because his overall mixed martial arts game as a whole is not the greatest. Next up, we have Colby Covington, and that guy's just going straight to D. I'm not going to lie to you guys, because I've never thought he was an elite fighter like that. He has good cardio, but that's about it. His ground game is decent, but like yeah, apart from that, if you look at his resume, what has he done? The last time he fought was Leon Edwards, which was 2 years ago. So yeah, I honestly, I've never really seen what was the hype around Colby Covington. Even his resume is very questionable. The people he beat, they were on at the end of their careers. And I've just never thought Colby Covington was the greatest fighter. His striking is absolutely horrendous, just like Kamaru Usman. Like, watching them two strike against each other was absolutely horrendous. And yeah, I'm gonna put Colby at a D. I've never thought he was an elite fighter like that. His striking is absolutely abysmal. And if I'm completely being honest, I think he's just talked his way to where he's at. Don't get me wrong, he's put in work. Like, you have to put in some sort of work. But I do feel like his talking has got him to where he's gotten to with, the fighting. But yeah, never, in my opinion, he's never been that great of a fighter. And at this moment in time, definitely not that great of a fighter. His star power is not what he thinks it is. He seems to think he's some sort of superstar, but he really isn't. So I'm putting him at a D, man. He's trash. Next up, we got Jaquan Buckley. Jaquan Buckley is... You see him, yeah? Out of this whole division, I feel like he has made the most improvements. And it's crazy because I do feel like Jaquan Buckley could be a UFC champion one day. Sorry guys, my UFC cards are all sticking together, but I don't know why they're sticking together. It's as if water's been poured on them, but I didn't pour any water on them, so I don't understand why they're sticking together, bro. But what's it called? Jaquan Buckley has made the most improvements, in my opinion, in that division. And I do believe Jaquan Buckley could become a champion one day. He took a hard loss against Kamaru Usman recently, which was a learning experience for him. But I do believe Buckley has the mindset and very good physique, and I do believe he can make more adjustments. And he's still quite young, still in his prime. So, I do feel like out of everyone in that division, like out of the young prospects, when it comes to all-round mixed martial... The thing is, what's crazy? When he fought Kamaru, yeah, the maddest thing is, before he fought Kamaru, his ground game looked pretty decent. But obviously, we know Kamaru's ground game is levels ahead of his. But to be fair, when he did make the needed adjustments in round 5, Kamaru wasn't able to take him down. Obviously, tiredness plays a factor into all of them things, but the adjustment he made did work. And this backs up my point that I do believe with the mindset and mentality that Jaquan Buckley has, he definitely can become a champion because he's willing to learn, and what he does learn, he applies it. Very explosive fighter, decent striking, decent ground game. And I do honestly believe he can, if he continues to improve and progress the way he is, I do think he could become a champion. And if not a champion, he will definitely be in that top 5. He will definitely get to the top 5 spot, or even higher than that. I do see big things happening for Buckley, because obviously I know he wanted to fight Ian Gary. I believe he beats Ian Gary. So I'm going to put Buckley at a B, because I do think I would put him at a C, but because of the improvements he's made, and I do think he can make more improvements, I'm going to put him at a, I'll put him at a C, but I do feel like he will get to a B or an A. And his resume is not bad, man. His resume is not bad. I mean, he was able to finish Colby Covington, and Kamaru and Leon Edwards weren't able to do that. So, I do want to put him at a B, but because I feel like he still needs to improve in elements of his game, I'll put him at a C, but there's a strong argument for him being in the B. Next up, we got Michael Morales. The thing is, I want to put Michael Morales at a C because I haven't seen enough of his ground game. But I'm going to put him at a B because of the way he's finishing guys, and his striking is very good, specifically his hands. But what I will say is, the higher he climbs in the rankings, the more we're going to see what his all-round game is saying. Because we've seen him able to take out guys like Gilbert Burns and, you know, has very good boxing. But my question is, what if he was to fight someone like Shavkat or Kamaru or even Ian Gary or Bilal or Sean Brady? Because these guys, fair enough, they might stand up and mix with you, but they will shoot and take you down. They will at some point. So I feel like we still have a lot to learn about Michael Morales, but I'm going to put him at a B because he has shown signs of having, you know, that superstar level, what's the words I'm looking for? That superstar stardom. He's got good striking, but like I said, I need to see more of him. I'm going to put him at a B, but I think I'm putting him at a B because he's a young and upcoming prospect, but really and truly should be at a C. So if anyone's watching this video and you put him at a C, that's good with me. I'm not really too fussed about that. I wouldn't argue with you. Next up, we got Ian Gary. I'm not going to lie, yeah. As much as I hate the cuck Ian Gary, I got to give it to him. His IQ and everything put together is quite good. He knows how to win fights. Went the distance with Shavkat. Went the distance with Carlos Pratas. And was able to actually finish him. Not finish him. Wait, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I forgot someone. So let's get them. Carlos Pratas. I forgot Carlos Pratas. You know what? We'll do that after. But anyways, Ian Gary, his IQ is very good. I've got to give it to him. He knows how to win fights. He's fought some of the best in the division already. And I do believe, as much as I don't like the cuck, yeah, he has a decent ground game and he can strike. So I'm going to put him at a B. He potentially could get it to an A if he continues to do what he's doing and beating certain guys. Because listen, I can't knock the guy. He has a very good IQ. The way he approaches fights is smart. The way he wins his fights is smart. He knows what to do to win fights. As much as it might not be the most exciting, he knows how to win his fight. So I can't even knock him for that. Like, take away all the other shit, you know. When we're talking about just the fight, and yeah, I can't knock that. So I'll put him at a B. Really and truly, if we're looking at his overall style, his style is better currently than Michael Morales, in my opinion. Michael Morales, in terms of striking, I would lean more towards him. But you guys know what I'm saying. So, yeah. Next up, we have Kamaru Usman. Kamaru Usman is a former champion. He's beaten some decent guys, but even his resume is questionable because, you know, it was Masvidal twice, Colby twice, and I can't remember the other ones. But at this moment in time, yeah, obviously he's lost to Leon Edwards twice, he lost to Hamza, and then he beat Buckley. Kamaru striking is abysmal. Honestly, guys, it's so shit. It's terrible, and it's always been terrible. He's just one of them guys that he has power, and if he catches you correctly and cleanly, he can knock you out. But his striking is shit. Absolute shite. I'm sorry, Kamaru. I know you're a fellow Nigerian, you know, and I should be sticking with you, but unfortunately, your striking is rubbish. I'm not gonna lie, you need to go. In fact, it's too late. I was going to say you need to go to Nigeria. They should teach you how to strike properly, but it's too late. Or follow Israel. He will take you to China. No, I'm saying I'll teach you how to strike properly. You know what I mean? But Kamaru, yeah, Kamaru at this point in time, wrestling is still good, still up there, but his striking. So I'm gonna put him at a B, man, because his striking has never been the greatest, anyways. Some people might see this and say, "Oh, how can you put Kamaru at a B?" Listen, we're looking at his overall MMA game, and his overall MMA game, he's lacking in striking. His striking is shit, and no one should tell me, "Oh, but he's knocked out this, bruv." He has power. When you have, look at Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou has power. Look at a lot of his MMA fights. There's no technique. He's just throwing. But once he hits you, because he has the power, he can knock you out. So yeah, I'm putting Kamaru at a B. Leon Edwards, again, I'll put him at a B. Decent strike, good striking, high level striking, decent ground game. His ground game has actually improved leaps and bounds compared to the first fight between him and Kamaru Usman. And I know even though Leon Edwards has lost his last 2 fights, I feel like it's the styles that he's lost to. And listen, styles make fights. But that just because you've lost to an elite person doesn't mean that you're not elite, because you could lose to an elite person and beat every other person in that division. So you can, you know, just like Bilal, he went the distance. Bilal became champion after that. He then fought Sean Brady, lost to Sean Brady. But Sean Brady's ranked number 2, I believe. No, he's ranked number 2. So again, Leon Edwards is still up there with the best in the world. It's just obviously you guys know my take on Leon Edwards. He just fights like a Jamaican boy that's always fucking high out of his nut. There's no urgency in it. That, you know what? That's what I'm going to say about Leon Edwards. I'm going to put him at a B, yeah? But if he had urgency and he stepped on the gas a bit more, and I know you shouldn't force fights, but I feel like the way Leon Edwards fights, he needs to force the fight sometimes. So because of that, I'm putting him at a B. If he didn't fight the way he did and force the fight a little more, I would put him at an A, because his overall game is actually very, very good. He was able to defend takedowns from Kamaru in the third fight. He was even able to reverse takedowns and even get his own takedowns. Did the same thing to Colby. It's just obviously the relentless takedowns from Sean Brady and Bilal, that's just their style. They're going to strike, wrestle. And I do think stylistically that is a problem for Leon Edwards, because that's essentially what Kamaru did in the first fight. He did that in the second fight, but not as much in the first fight. And I feel like with someone like Leon Edwards, who has an all-round good MMA style, but obviously predominantly a striker, I do feel like if you constantly mix in the wrestling with the striking, you will upset their rhythm to the point they won't be able to get into their striking. But I still think Leon Edwards is a good all-round fighter, so I'm putting him at a B. Next up, we have Shavkat. I'm not going to lie, I do not see the hype around Shavkat. I was having this debate with my friend the other day. Everyone is so up Shavkat's ass. But he arguably lost to Ian Gary. I'm not going to lie, guys. Like, I do not see what's so special about Shavkat. I don't think he beats Jack Della Maddalena either. I don't. I think Jack pieces him up standing up. Shavkat Bilal's an interesting one, because I think Bilal's going to bring that relentless pressure, and I don't know if a lot of guys can handle that, because that's the same thing Sean Brady's going to do. But Shavkat, his all-round game is good, so I'm going to put him at a B, because he can strike and he can wrestle. I don't think his striking is all that. In general, I don't think Shavkat is all that of a fighter. Maybe it's because, you know, he does have an all-round good mixed martial arts game, so maybe I'm just overlooking him a bit, but I just don't see what the hype is around him. Maybe I need to watch more fights, because I haven't actually watched that many fights of him, but the fights I've seen, he does have a very good all-round MMA game, so I'll put him at a B. Next up, we've got Sean Brady. Sean Brady, it's mad, he's ranked second, but I don't think he's all that of a fighter. I just think he has relentless wrestling, good wrestling pressure. That's about it. I don't think his striking is the greatest, so I'm putting him at a C. I know some people, that's going to ruff some people's feathers a bit. But with the current lineup of that division, I don't think he gets the belt. And if he does, it won't be anytime soon. That's just my opinion. Sean Brady's another person that I need to watch more of their fights. So, you know, yeah, I'll put him at a C now because I don't actually know that much about Sean Brady. So if you want to leave in the comments your thoughts on that, you're more than welcome. If you're gonna hate on me for doing that, that's you problem. I don't give a shit. Next up, we got Belal Muhammad. Belal Muhammad, I'll put him at a B again as well because I don't think he's all that. But listen, he was a champion. He's beat Sean Brady, who's beat Leon Edwards. So, you know, but yeah, Belal has a decent all-round mixed martial arts game. I don't think his striking is all that. And it was shown against Jack Della Maddalena. Jack was so clean and crisp against him. And it just shows if Belal tries to strike with elite strikers, like imagine him trying to do that with Leon Edwards, like just strike. He would have lost that fight. But he did that to Jack because he thought, yeah, Jack's going to be not an easy fight, but he thought, yeah, I can handle Jack. Little did he know he fucked around and found out. But I'll put him at a B because he does have a decent level of mixed martial arts. Like, his all-round game is quite good. Like, I wouldn't put him in that elite category, but he's just below the elites, I would say. And then lastly, we got Jack Della Maddalena. Because he's the champion, I'm putting him at an A. I don't think he's an S tier. I think his all-round game is quite good. And the improvements in his ground game that he showed against Belal Muhammad is quite good. And he's the champ. And when you're the champ, it does mean you're better than everybody else in that division. So he is going to be an A right now. Until someone can take that belt off him, he's going to remain an A because he's the champion. He is number one in that division. Striking, elite, nobody in that division, especially the boxing, nobody in that division can talk to him except maybe Michael Morales. But I still think Jack Della Madalena's boxing is a lot crispier and cleaner than Michael Morales. And I was impressed with the ground game he showed against Belal. So yeah, I do think Jack is the number one fighter in the welterweight division right now, and he is the guy to beat. And you know, in terms of matchups, I think matchups that could probably cause Jack problems is probably like a Sean Brady or even Belal or Kamaru, but they have to bring that relentless wrestling pressure constantly. You have to be in his face. You can't give him time to relax and get into his rhythm in terms of the striking. But yeah, that's my tier list, guys, for the welterweight division. I'll probably do more for the other weight classes. I do think I missed out someone. Let me just quickly count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So yeah, I did forget someone, and that somebody was Carlos Pratas. Carlos Pratas, I believe it was Carlos Pratas. Let's double check, guys. Let's actually double check that. Yeah, I forgot Carlos Pratas and Jeff Neal. I don't know why it's done this to me because I got their photos from the UFC. Guys, I don't know what happened, and it's even confusing me because I've got I don't know, guys. Honestly, I don't know what happened, but that's my tier list. I'm not gonna because I tried to do this video before. And the website, it just fucked me up. I did like 20 minutes of recording only to realize that I didn't even press record and something else was fucked as well. So, you know, like it was long. So I'm not doing this video again, guys. But before I go, I'll quickly tell you where I'll put Carlos Pratas. I'll put Carlos Pratas at a B because he did nearly finish Ian Gary, and I do feel like he can improve. And I feel like if he does make certain adjustments, and if he can improve, he will get to that. Because his striking is good, man. Very good Muay Thai striking. So yeah, I'll put him at a B. And Jeff Neal, I'll be real, he's a D, man. Like, yeah, he's just one of them guys that's in the division. He's there to kind of stop the young and upcoming fighters, but you know, he's done a decent job of staying in the rankings. But we're leaving him at a D, man. But that's my tier list for the welterweight division. If you liked this video, like and subscribe. Comment your rankings below. Let me know what you think in the comments. And again, like and subscribe, guys. It's Big Games. I'll see you again tomorrow, man.